Alright, you may have noticed in our previous video that our steering wheel is not moving at all. And that's because we didn't set it up to move. So we're going to do that in this lecture. So let's come out of our camera view and let's pick our steering wheel. I'm going to turn back on the rig so I can see it. And I'm going to select that collection. Now select the steering wheel. I'm going to isolate it by pressing Shift H. And it looks like its origin is way down here at the world origin. So let's recalculate that. Set origin to volume. Now the origin's in the center. Let's move the cursor to selected. And let's add an empty. I'm going to side view here. So Shift A, empty, and we'll do arrows again. We want to align the Z-axis of this empty to the rotational axis of the steering wheel. So I'm going to rotate it a little bit to about right there. And from top view, we need to do the same as the steering wheel is a little bit canted over. So maybe about right there. All right. Then we need to parent the steering wheel to that empty. Control P, keep transform. And let's go ahead and name the empty also. So I'm going to call it steering empty. All right, I'm going to unhide everything. And we want to parent the empty to the body, rigid body, right here. Control P. All right. Now we want to make the controller rotate as we steer it. So the best way to do that is we're going to add a Z-axis driver for the controller. And the best way to do that is to just copy it from our steering motor. So let's do that. Let's come over here, right click, do copy driver, and then select our controller and paste it in the Z-axis rotation paste driver. Now let's open it in the driver's editor. And we don't need most of this. So I'm going to come to where it says current steering and then erase everything or delete everything after that. Then we need to, this is going to be in radians now. And we need to subtract off our 90-degree reference angle. So I'm going to do negative pi divided by 2. That's 90 degrees in radians. And then multiply it by a scalar multiplier. And I'm going to do 3. And this is going to be how much more you want the steering wheel to rotate compared to the front wheel. So this is kind of like the steering ratio. And I'm going to do 3. All right. Now we need to add a constraint to our steering empty. So I'm going to select it and come to Object Constraint. And we're going to add a copy rotation constraint. We're going to select the controller. And we're going to unselect the X and Y axis. So only Z should be selected. Instead of replace, we're going to do after original. And for the owner, we want that to be local space, like that. All right. Now, when we drive it, it should steer. So let's see if that works. I'm going to come into my camera view and I'm going to make it so that I can see the steering wheel a little better. So maybe something like that. All right. Back to item, we have our controller. Let me reset the simulation and let's see if that works. Make sure to save it first and press play. All right. And it looks like it is steering to the right and then the left. And it looks like it's steering like we want it to.